Okay, so, schools all across the Western world have fairly recently got into this rather controversial habit of teaching children as young as 5 years old all about sex and sexual activity and even certain sexual peccadillos. I'm not quite sure how to describe this situation in as few words as possible.
Gay.
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 Gay. Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay, 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 gay. Gay.
Seems a little bit reductive, but alright, that'll do. Okie dokie, folks. Inspiration isn't a thing that strikes me all that often anymore, so every now and again I'm just going to visit libs of TikTok and see what kind of nightmare fuel I can drudge up. Just so you know, I don't enjoy this. I do it because I'm trying not to be as lazy as I could be. Let's proceed.
Don't say gay, Bill! Are you serious?
No. It's a don't groom children bill. Either you have something of a guilty conscience there, or you're just parroting the lies of someone else with a guilty conscience.
Don't talk about what I went through and what my fellow gay LGBTQ plus community went through to get me here.
Or child grooming.
Are you serious right now?
No. I'm trying to add levity to the situation. I appreciate your passionate anger, but you should know it's completely misplaced and it's being weaponized by child groomers. So, being rather counterproductive is all.
Is the government sleeping? Why are they letting you do this? Isn't this the free country? The free world? Freedom of speech? Don't say gay! That goes against freedom of speech!
Again, that's not what the bill says, but yes, to some degree it is a restriction on at least the selective absolution of free speech. If you're going to teach children to suck each other off and castrate themselves, you probably shouldn't be doing it in schools, and definitely not without the consent or even knowledge of the parents of those children. I'm trying to think of a comparative example that would get across just how heinous this is, but I can't quite think of one. This already appears to be the most heinous thing you could possibly do with speech. You know, grooming children.
You cannot sit here and say being gay is not a choice when you're not gay.
Okay, I'll sit somewhere else. Somewhere where I can say gay. Wait, what?
You don't know that!
You don't know what the fucking bill says.
Now you want to make learning about our history illegal? You are literally making it harder for children to feel comfortable because conservative parents feel like it's not okay. They're not gay!
Conservatives can in fact be gay. Did you know that? Did you know parents can in fact be gay? Even conservative ones. You know who literally can't be gay? Or straight? 5-year-olds.
It's not their place to talk about it. Stop being concerned with what other people like. This is disgusting.
Okay, groomer.
Not this, but that. Here's a gender-inclusive tip. Instead of referring to someone's sex at birth as biologically male or biologically female, instead use assigned male at birth or assigned female at birth.
Alrighty. You were assigned male at birth, weren't you? That still offends you, doesn't it? And if it doesn't now, it will as soon as it becomes the norm. Such is the ever-changing nature of the oikophobe. How about we go ahead and shorten assigned male at birth to just male? Since you're going to get offended anyway by anything with the word male in it.
The emphasis being here on the word assigned and that it was the doctor who made that decision.
Are you a biologist? Why, yes, I'm a doctor. Well, fuck you anyway.
And the assignment might align with how the person feels about their gender identity, or it may not.
Sure. How you feel is set in stone forever, but your genetics are not... Well, I guess genetics can be changed in some way. In a totally safe and effective way.
Why is it that if a cisgender gay man dates a transgender man, he's not gay, but if a heterosexual man dated a transgender man, he would be considered gay?
I think it would be unclear in both cases, because in both cases it's a little bit confusing. Why would a heterosexual man be considered homosexual? Maybe because the kids in his school called him gay. Or maybe because the teachers in his school called him gay. Do you see how confusing it is?
Come here. Stop doing free labor for the patriarchy.
It ain't free, my dude. I get paid for this.
The hierarchy of bodies where one is considered the best, that was designed by men.
It was designed by evolution. Are we progressing away from that now, are we?
Like, maybe you've noticed that heterosexual men have an incredibly narrow definition of what's attractive.
Yes, it's called women.
And heterosexual women have like a much broader one.
I can't say I've noticed that. Except insofar as men are generally broader than women. Literally and figuratively.
That's by design.
Yes, it's a very good design. And if you've come to kick that sandcastle over, we'd rather you didn't do it at the taxpayer's expense.
If your feminism does not include fighting fat phobia and body liberation, it's not fucking feminism. That shit's just another wing of the patriarchy, babes.
Oh no! Anyway.
And there might come a day where you gain weight. And you're still gonna need feminism then.
Are you stereotyping feminists? You are, aren't you?
Because if you think men are awful when you're thin, oof, I got really bad news for you. You don't need to trash other body types to make you feel good about yourself. Men do enough of that.
Men are awful, men are awful, men are awful, men are awful. You don't need to trash other body types. Men are awful, men are... You prick.
God is non-binary, God is queer, God is autistic. Let me unpack that for you.
Must you?
God is non-binary because God is the author of gender.
No. The author of gender is a biologist named Dr. John Money. And the way he assigned gender was apparently A-OK.
God is genderless and genderful. They are neither male nor female, and they are both. They refer to themselves both as male and female throughout the text. And yet theology would tell us that God does not have gender, so by definition, God is non-binary.
We actually have a separate word for female gods. It's goddesses. It depends on your religion, doesn't it? Or is theology the same for everyone? Okay.
God is queer because, like gender, God is the author of all sexualities. All sexualities exist in God, and yet God is not explicitly sexual.
If you believe in, for instance, Zeus, God is very explicitly sexual, to a somewhat degenerate degree. So, go with that if you like. I suspect you do.
And since asexuality is part of the LGBTQ spectrum, we can say God is queer.
We can. Yes, we can. In some countries, we really can't, though, so do be careful.
And finally, God is autistic because autism is a divergence from typical neurology, and since no being in existence has a mind like the mind of God,
except autistic beings,
God is by definition neurodivergent, and as an autistic person, I like to say God is autistic.
Yes, God is just like you, made in your own image. Hell of a narcissistic thing to say, especially for an autistic. And, by the way, if you're talking about the God of the Old Testament, that dude is deeply cluster B if he's anything.
God always identifies with and as the most marginalized people in society.
What, Muslims? That's how the progressive stack works, matey. Is there anything you'd like to redraft?
So, quick discussion. Do you believe dogs have gender?
I mean, in a way.
No, I'm tempted to say that the automatic answer is no, because gender is a human societal construct. Any of the gendered characteristics that we apply to male dogs and female dogs are just an extension of our own human constructs of gender. But then, on the other hand, I think dogs do have society in a way. They descend from wolves and a basic type of pack structure. Otherwise, humans wouldn't have bonded with dogs because humans and dogs/wolves are both social animals. So if dogs are social animals, do they have social constructs like gender? I really don't think I can answer this question.
I think you kind of did.
You know, like, get down with yourself, explore your own body.
Oh, hello, you. Hang on.
Masturbation is really healthy.
problem?
And I recommend it to people of all ages. All ages.
I'm of the school of thought, if you can call it that, wherein there are some things in life that really don't require recommendation at any age. If I told you I recommend you taking a dump, it might sound suspiciously like I'm recommending you take a dump on my chest. I'm not, by the way. I'm good where I am.
As soon as my nephews could talk, they were doing that.
This?
That's what they were doing.
If you say so.
Kids touch themselves.
You're really not making this easy, by the way. But I'm soldiering on just to demonstrate a point. If you'll pardon me. Never mind.
Kids start to ask questions, and we teach them the language for their bodies, right? That's your nose, touch your nose, show Aunt T you can touch your nose.
Okay, wow, this is a lot harder than I thought. It's like patting your nose and rubbing your tummy.
But my sister's not saying that when they're tugging at their penis, right? But it feels good, right?
Not right now, no. Swap hands. I have to say the nose thing is significantly different from the penis thing. I wouldn't even have tried it if you hadn't recommended it. Whereas the penis thing, I was, if anything, recommended against it, and I still figured it out.
We have to learn ways to talk to young people about this so that they know how to explore their body.
Yes, you really need to learn how crucially different a nose is from a penis. Next lesson, us from elbow.
Consensually, so that it's not in public, right? We don't want people exploring their bodies in public. That's not consensual.
Right. You probably shouldn't be recommending wanking to children in public, let alone in public schools. Yes? Especially not if the parents do not consent to it.
But exploring your body at any age, grandmas, grandpas, all of us need to be exploring our body.
Go away, please.
Men, don't speak. Not today. Today's silence. Hush.